going, guys? Today we're discussing 3 things I hate about ball pythons. And without further ado, let's get into it. Number 1. Picky eaters. Ball pythons are some of the pickiest creatures when it comes to feeding. Obviously, they only have 1 or 2 options, that being mice or rats. The problem really occurs when you're debating on feeding them frozen or live. If you keep multiple snakes, let's say 10 or more, maybe raising a colony of mice or rats is something you want to do. Now, I only have 5 snakes, and the idea of raising enough rats to feed them all, also considering they all need different sizes, is something that fuels my nightmares. I have 1 giant rat walking around my house, and the smell that emits from her can classify as cruel and unusual. If you're the 90% that enjoys cleanliness, and yes, I'm sure that percentage is exaggerated, or you just can't bother with a small army of rodents, then you'll most likely opt for the second option, which is storing frozen rodents in your freezer. Yum. Believe it or not, that in and of itself isn't really the problem either. If you're acquiring your ball python from a breeder that could care less, let's say, and as an example, just throws innocent little buggers in with the ball python, well, now you have a snake that will only feed on live prey. It is not impossible to obtain live prey. Just a quick search online for nearby rodent breeders and you now have officially networked with a group of people, ultimately amassing a very diverse portfolio. Feeding live only becomes a problem to the quote-unquote squeamish and soft. If you like extra soy in your afternoon lattes, I doubt you would even keep reptiles. So now what's left? Why, you, sir, being the tough, handsome, rugged individual you are, not want to feed live prey? Well, a myriad of reasons, actually. Thanks for asking. It's cheaper to keep frozen. It's easier and more simple to keep frozen. You can buy in bulk and freeze it and be confident you'll have rodents to feed your ball pythons for months. Acquiring the food is not the problem. Ball pythons that are used to eating live will only want to eat live. Like your girlfriend finally quitting nagging you to do your laundry, it's not impossible. It'll just take for you to roll up your sleeves and put in the work. Transitioning a baby ball python or a ball python from alive to frozen is not easy, but it is simple. The key word here, gentlemen, is consistency. Do not neglect. If you are feeding your baby ball python once a week, offer it frozen prey before, like old age and your knees, giving up. It's a challenge for sure, but creativity and patience is all you need on this one. Number 2. Humidity. Ball pythons in general are considered a beginner snake species. What does that mean? Well, my therapist and I have spent the best of the last few months trying to figure that one out. If you're 13 years of age or younger, it is safe to say adult supervision is required. For everyone else, good luck. Ball pythons seem to be a species that are prone to stuck sheds. There is a thin line between under-humidifying your ball python's enclosure and respiratory issues. I'm just kidding. Probably not, but most definitely. Keeping your ball python's enclosure at an optimal humidity is a skill only those daring enough will conquer. You can look online and do some serious research and find the optimal levels of humidity for your ball python's enclosure. But even then, and I strongly say, but even then, it can be tricky. Find yourself a good hygrometer. Not hydrometer. I don't know who dropped the ball on that one. Hygrometer. I also keep cigars. Place it in your ball python's enclosure and track the humidity. Generally from 60 to 80%. Yeah, figure that one out. Keep good, nay, great track of your snake's health, and experiment. Aside from anger management, some of the things that have helped me with dealing with my ball python's humidity levels have been trying different substrates. If you live in a dry climate, maybe something like coconut husk or cypress mulch will help. And if it's exceptionally dry where you live, a damp towel on 50% of your ball python screen lid will help. You can always also store your beautiful, stunning, gorgeous animal who, if I may be so brash to mention, has done no harm to you and only thrives to enhance your life. Store them in a tub with a lid. Wonderful. Number 3. They're terrible filmmakers. Grim, lower it, bud. Well guys, I'm glad you made it to the end. I hope you enjoyed that small video. As always, thank you so much for watching. This has been Grim. I'm Nick. God bless, and good night. That's it, rock and roll.